Hi, this is Chanel. I hope you're doing well. I have a question for you. So, if you, or when you're curious about someone you don't know, um, you want to know who they are, you want to know what they like, you want information about them. What do you do with that curiosity? Okay, are you uh, forthcoming about or with that person about being curious about who they are? Do you use underhanded methods or methods that they're unaware of to find information about them? These days, a lot of people, are curious about other people, or people that they may not have a close relationship with, but they don't always, or a lot of times, I feel, especially with social media and just the what's available on technology these days. They use other methods to try to find information about people they may not be or are not close to. Okay. And so, like I said, if you're curious about who someone is or what they do, how do you go about finding out information? And I can't think of his name, but there was a host, or he used to be a host on a Tonight Show, or not Tonight Show, a evening show with celebrities. He would interview celebrities or talk to celebrities on an evening show that would come on during the week. And now he has a channel that I've seen on YouTube, and he invites celebrities to I believe it's to his home, I'm assuming. And he'll ask the people questions. They sit down and have dinner, and he'll ask them, a list of questions to get more acquainted with them. And to me, that is the most respectful way to get acquainted with someone. If you want to know who someone is, the most respectful way to get information is to sit down with that person and ask questions. Okay, if you want to know information about someone, ask questions and ask that person questions. Don't go ask someone else. Don't use technology to try to find information. I think the most like I said, respectful and personable way to get to know someone or find out information about someone is to let them know that you're curious. Hey, I'm curious about, I would love to get to know you, or I would love to get more information about you. Let them know why. Just be open and honest, and let a person know that you're curious about getting to know them, for whatever reason. And if a person feels comfortable enough, or if they feel it's necessary for you to know who they are, then they will let you know. And if not, they won't. Another thing I've noticed is that a lot of people, there are people who want to know information about someone else. However, if the tables were turned, they wouldn't be willing to give that person the same type of information they were wanting to know. So, say for instance, you're working at, you're working for a company, okay, and you have a coworker that, or there's a person in that department or wherever that has, you found out, has created a fake Facebook account to find out information about you. Who do you know? Who do you hang out with? What do you do? Instead of this person coming to you and saying, hey, let's go to lunch. I would love to get to know you. I'm such, such and such. Instead of going about it that way, the person goes to, like I said, creates fake accounts, or maybe, finds out information and drives by the person's house, or finds, downloads apps to, I mean, it's just all kind of crazy stuff that people do now to try to get information on people that they are curious about, and to me it's very odd. It's very odd. And so but like I said, what do you do? I would love feedback or comments. Are you direct with a person if you want to know information about them, or are you indirect and sneaky when it comes to finding out who a person is, what they like, what their motives are, or whatever the case may be. Okay, how do you go about getting your information? All right, thank you for this video. Bye. Or thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Bye bye.